Hi, my name's Ben.
Oh, hey, Ben.
So I'm doing this project for school. I should say my name's Ben. I go to Harvard Law School, and I was
Um,
hoping I could ask you a few questions and then use it in my project. Would that be cool?
yeah, that's cool.
Awesome.
How long is it gonna take?
4 or 5 minutes tops.
Okay.
All right. So I'm in a class called American Jury. Have you ever served as a juror on a jury?
Yeah, about a year ago.
Great. Now, do you remember whether or not the judge in that case asked you to abstain from doing any research on your own and to just weigh the facts as presented to you in the course of the trial?
Um, yeah, that was one of the first things they told us.
Okay. And great. Do you did you put a lot of weight on that? I mean, would him saying that prevent you from doing your own research?
I mean, there's like only so much that can go for, I guess.
Well, let me ask you, do you have an iPhone or another portable BlackBerry type device?
Yeah, I have a BlackBerry.
Great. And do you use that device to do research? To go online, maybe Google things?
Well, yeah, all the time.
Okay. So, in the course of a trial, would you, as a jury member, ever maybe use that BlackBerry device to look up information?
Yeah, of course. Like who the person is, who's the like witnesses, and the lawyers and stuff. Just it's boring, so you gotta read about them.
So, you would actually look up information that went beyond the scope of what was presented before you in the trial?
Well, I mean, I would just be curious about kind of who the people were. I don't know if it. Yeah, I would just like look at it.
Did anything like that happen while you were a juror?
Well, yeah, I looked up the people who were there then.
Without going into specifics, what was the case about? What type of case was it?
It was just like a simple like traffic accident thing. Guy sped around a corner and hit a pedestrian.
And you said you did look up something. What did you look up?
Well, I was just looking up like who the lawyers were and like where the intersection was, um, stuff like that.
You looked up the intersection itself. Did you share this information with any other jurors?
Um, no, it was just kind of like me, playing on my phone. But we might like talked about it, but I was just looking on my phone.
And did anything you find uh, on your phone, did it play any influence in how you voted?
It's hard to say because like we're not supposed to consider those things, and I mean, I would say probably no, just because like um, not. I mean, it didn't really change much, just to like find out who the lawyers were and see the intersection.
But you looked up the actual intersection. Did you look up pictures, or did you look up the law? What was it exactly that you looked up?
No, we just like Google mapped the intersection, and just find out what part of town it is, and then that like the street view thing comes up. So this was in San Francisco. They had street view like when it happened like a year ago. So just looked at it. It was pretty bored. I mean, it was just because I was so bored in courthouse, basically.
Great, great. Just one or two more questions. You said at the top that the judge asked you, not to do your own research. Why did you ignore him?
Well, I didn't really think that was research. I just thought it was, I was just kind of like learning a little bit more about what was going on, and it was just, like, oh, somebody's talking about something. Well, I'll just have my phone here. I'll look it up.
Sure.
Um, so yeah, I didn't really think of it as research.
what if you had found something? You know, you said what you found wasn't that significant, but had you stumbled upon something that you thought was interesting or relevant to the case, would you have allowed that to affect how you might have voted as a jury member?
I mean, it's tough with like a hypothetical because I just don't really know what it would be that came up. Like, if there was like no stoplight or stop sign there or something, then it would be hard to ignore that. But like I said, I didn't really see anything like that when I was looking. I wasn't really like looking for anything like that, specifically, anyways. So it's hard to say.
One last question. Could you imagine anything that the judge could have done? Maybe provide a sterner instruction to you that might have stopped you from looking up information on your phone?
Well, I mean, I guess if they didn't want us to look at stuff on our phone, they should have just told us that, or just like not, let us have our phones. But that would have been really boring. Um, so I don't think that it would have been. I mean, yeah, aside from like those two things, and just kind of like taking the phones away or telling us, making sure we didn't use them, I can't really think of what else it would be.
Sure, but say they don't take your phones away. I mean, you said the judge did tell you not to do research, and you did look up the intersection. So, had he been more explicit, are you confident?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like you would just have, because I guess when I think of research, I think of like don't go to the library and read about this, or don't go
Okay,
to, don't like go to the place, or like
but
go
if it's
start calling
online,
people on your own. But when it's just like Googling something, I don't really think of that as research.
great. So no matter, had the judge, no matter what he had said, you think you still would have done that?
Well, I mean, if he said don't Google stuff, then I probably wouldn't have done it. But I mean, it's tough to say because it gets kind of, like boring there.
All right. Well, thank you so very much. I really appreciate this. I hope it wasn't too long.
No problem. Yeah, it's cool. I'm just sitting around anyway, so
All right, great. Thanks.
yeah. Bye.